Alright guys, this is a long playing review for Yie Ar Kung-Fu on the Amstrad CPC. And if you remember in my previous video we looked at Charlene's Road, which was apparently the sequel to this game. And well, we're looking at the original now, and what a fantastic little kick 'em up this was as well. From Konami in 1985, and is really one of the very first one versus one like fighters, with a large array of moves and attacks, and this kind of set the basis for the modern fighting games from then onwards in the late 80s up to today really. So Street Fighter 2 owes a lot to this game. There's the arcade cabinet, and as always we're going to take a quick look at the arcade version in action, so we can compare the Amstrad version to the original. And yeah, basically you control a guy called Oolong, who must fight basically 10 martial art masters. Here's the first one, Buchi, before finally facing his clone or deadliest enemy, Blues, to win the title of Grandmaster and honour the memory of his father. Okay, we're moving on to Star there. So essentially there's about 11 fighters in the arcade original. Unfortunately the Amstrad version is missing about 3 of them, which will be, I think it's Fiedel, Chain and Fan. But pay attention here guys to the graphics, the music, the animation, how it moves and its speed. Because the Amstrad version does a very fantastic job of capturing the arcade original. So on to the third fighter in, Nuncha. And what's interesting is when we have a look at the Amstrad original version, compared to this original, quite a few of the same sort of attacks and moves kind of work in the same way against fighters actually. So yeah, I'm gonna already mention there's quite a few points already for accuracy, and we haven't moved on to the Amstrad version yet. All that noise there means you're running low on energy. As far as I know, there's no time limit to the game, and when you do finally beat the final boss, Blues, the game just loops around and carries on and apparently gets harder. There's kind of no ending to the game, a bit like Charlene's Road we looked at last. But yeah, really good fun little kick 'em up in the early days of arcade games. So first we're going to move on to the Amstrad version. Now pay attention here guys to the range of moves you can do. I'm going to be talking a lot about the moves you make to how you defeat these opponents. So you may want to refer back to this point in the video to sort of get your moves if you want to play this for yourself and win. Now I was really hoping that I'll be able to do like a perfect run and get perfect against all the fighters, and well, I didn't achieve that. I did come close, and I've tried several times throughout the week to try and do that, but I'll come on to that in a minute anyway. So yeah, nice little loading screen. Well, it was alright. Here's the high scores. We see the name there, K. Wilson, in the high score table, and I was wondering who the programmer of this version was. Well, that's Keith Wilson, I'm pretty sure. He also did Green Beret on the Amstrad, of which there's a lot of graphical and layout similarities. So we assume this was Keith Wilson, the programmer. So let's start this off. We're in charge of Oolong against Buchi, the big sort of fat sumo wrestler guy, and he's quite easy to defeat. Do a roundhouse kick, which is firing right when he's flying into you, and follow it with a rising kick, which is firing left, and then a strike punch, which is down and left, and you can get that magical 3-hit combo there. And I love that you can have actually sort of combo moves in a game like this, and he's pretty easily dispatched and done with. Okay, on to the first female character, which is Star. And quite obviously, she likes throwing stars at you. Now, she's susceptible to rising kicks, which is firing left. And all you need to do is just be patient and wait for her to move into you. And as she moves into you, use your rising kick. but otherwise just duck and jump shuriken attacks. Ooh, mistimed it there. Oh, she very nearly got a hit on me there. I want a flying punch. She's susceptible then too as well. One more hit and she's a goner. Yeah, and like in the original arcade original, she slumps to the floor and lays there, rather than kicking her legs in the air. Right, Muncher. Very easy to defeat. Move left, move right, and as he moves into you, do your stride punch. Which is a down and right. And he's also susceptible to a flying punch as well, in close, which is firing up left. So we got perfects so far, which is good. Unfortunately, I can't get a perfect against Pole. He's a right bastard in this game. Ankle kicks down and left are pretty good against him, with a leg sweep as well, which is firing down. Lunge punches occasionally. You might be able to get a rising kick on him, like so. So I took a few hits there, and I continued on with this recording. I'm glad I did. I'll tell you why at the end. So, right, oh, we get a bit of disc load here as we get a brand new background to fight against Club. And just like Muncher, he's really easy to defeat with the stride punch. You're going to basically be moving left and right, and as he moves in, do your stride punch. Although you've got to time it just right against Club. It took quite a bit of practice, that. And we're moving really quickly through this now. There's not much long left of this game. Now Sword, he's susceptible to flying punches, which is firing up left, and also a hook punch, which is firing up right. So it's quite easy to remember. There's a flying punch in action, and there's the hook punch. Now I didn't get a perfect against him. Oh well. But I did pretty good against him. He's actually quite tough, actually. Because I've only found a couple of moves that really work against him. Now Tonfun. Stride punches. Oh, an ankle kick, flying punch. And usually rising kicks are pretty good against him. But he's a bit of a mixture of moves, really. There's not really sort of one set of moves that usually works. But anyway, we're on to the final boss, Blues. Now he's going to jump in straight away. What we need to do is move in as he jumps and do a hook punch, which is fire up and right, and then follow with a flying punch, firing up and left. And occasionally a rising kick will get him. What we'll probably end up doing now is sort of jumping about, and we're going to try and get him to jump into us. And then we can do that combo. There it is. Hook punch, flying punch. But I actually took there's a bit of a risk there. And I've got my first ever perfect against him. And he's definitely the hardest character in the game. As I mentioned earlier, guys, I was going for trying to get a perfect run, and I messed up a couple of times, but I carried on recording, and I got my first ever perfect against Blues. And I thought I was only going to get perfects against all the others, and apart from Blues, because I've never actually defeated him with a perfect, but I actually managed to. So hell, this is my long play. And basically, guys, that is Yie Ar Kung-Fu done. And yeah, great little game. The fun of this game is working out which sort of couple of moves kind of works on each character. But then again, there's a couple of like Pole and I think Tonfun that you know, there's not really sort of a set couple of 2 or 3 moves that always works, just to throw a spanner in the works. But yeah, this is a really excellent port of the arcade version. I don't really think you're going to get much more arcade perfect than this, apart from there's obviously a couple of well, 2 or 3 missing fighters, Feudal Chain, Fan. But hey, you know, you can't ask for everything. But yeah, to sum up a bit of a review, comparing it to the arcade version, I mean, the graphics are spot on, as is the music. Pretty much, I think all the moves are there. It plays just like the arcade original. It's perfectly paced and balanced. And shame about the missing 3 fighters, but again, I don't think you're going to get close to arcade perfect that the Amstrad version does. So yeah, 8 out of 10 from me. Thanks for watching. Cheers and goodbye.